and welcome here to Talk FCB, and welcome here to the preview of Juventus against Barcelona as the Champions League returns. And this in itself is a very, very important game in terms of how the group is going to finish in Group D. The Champions Group stage is coming to an end, and we do go to Juventus now, where we're going to try and win, but we don't necessarily have to. The previews, as always, guys, coming to you courtesy of the OneFootball app, which is in the description down below. On the OneFootball app, 80,000 people currently have voted in who they think will win tomorrow. 64% of app users have picked Barcelona. 64% of people think that Barca will win. If you do have the OneFootball app, make sure you're getting involved in that voting. I think there should be a little bit more on Barca's side, but I can understand why people are not completely putting Juventus out of the equation. The game itself kicks off at 8:45 local time, of course, in Italy. In the other group game, in Group D, Sporting, who are currently in third, will face Olympiacos at home, who are currently bottom of the group. And there is a very, very big game elsewhere as well. Atletico Madrid bring Roma to the Wanda Metropolitano, and that is a massive, massive game for Atleti. They have to win that game, or they will not be competing in the Champions League knockout stages. And even if they win, it is still not certain they will actually be there in the knockout rounds, like we've seen them in so many seasons as of late. The group itself right now is set up very, very nicely. Barcelona top of the group, of course, with 10 points so far. Juventus in second place with 7. Sporting in third with 4. And Olympiacos propping up the rest with just 1 point so far. That point, of course, gained against us in Greece in that 0-0 draw. And of course, we have played Juventus earlier on in the season. We took them on in September at the Camp Nou. That was an emphatic victory. One of the best performances, I think, so far this season. That was 3-0 on the night. Messi with 2 of the goals, Rakitic with the other, and we really did sweep Juventus aside on that night. A really, really good display. Dembele was there. It was fantastic. But that is the key. The fact that we beat Juve by such a convincing manner, and goal difference in this group could become very, very pivotal, and that is why I think this is a game which we don't necessarily have to win. Juventus right now have got a goal difference of 0. They've scored 5 goals, and they conceded 5 goals. 3 of those, of course, coming against us. We, meanwhile, have a goal difference of 6. We have scored 7 goals, and we've only conceded 1 goal in the group. So our goal difference is superior to Juventus. They would have to really demolish us tomorrow night to really have a chance at topping this group. If we win or if we draw, we will automatically become group champions. So a win or a draw tomorrow in Turin, and we are Group D winners. We're going to go into that then, the knockout stages, as group winners, which should hopefully give us an easier draw in the last 16 stage. Even if we lose tomorrow, it wouldn't be the end of the world. If we lose tomorrow and we don't get absolutely hammered, as long as we beat Sporting Lisbon at home in our final group match at the Camp Nou, we will be top of the group. So even if we lose to Juve, it's not the end of the world. As long as we don't get hammered, we can beat Sporting in that last game, and we can still go through to the knockout rounds as group winners. In terms of confidence coming into the game, we do come into the game on good confidence, on good form. We're top of the league by 4 points, you know, ahead of Valencia, way ahead of Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. And we come in, of course, on the back of that win on Saturday, 3-0 away from home against Leganes. It wasn't an easy place to go. I think 3-0 flatters us a little bit, but we still put away our chances. It was still another victory, and we move on in our league season. However, Juventus come into the game in a very, very different mindset. They're currently struggling by their very, very high standards in Serie A. They're currently third in the league behind Napoli and Inter, and they come into this game having lost on Sunday in Serie A. They lost 3-2 to Sampdoria, and on that day, they were actually at one stage 3-0 down. Lucas Torreira was sensational playing for Sampdoria, somebody that we mentioned in the summer, a young talent coming through. He really dominated that midfield. He's a controlling player. He scored a fantastic goal, and he really is having a great season for Sampdoria. Certainly somebody to keep an eye on. But like I say, Juventus there absolutely crumbling. They eventually made it 3-2, but they still lost the game. They're still struggling this season in Serie A, and they've certainly been below what they were. One of the areas in particular that you would mention with Juventus would be their defence. It does not look like anything like what it was. You know Juventus, they're structured, they're disciplined. You think about when we played them last season when they knocked us out of the Champions League. That defence of Bonucci, of Barzagli and Chiellini, it was immovable. You could not get past that for anything. At the Camp Nou, we tried everything. Messi was there. We were trying to get past them, but they were simply an unpenetrable force. Right now, though, they've conceded conceded 14 goals in the opening 13 games, where if you look at our defence so far, and I wouldn't say our defence right now is rock solid, we've only conceded 4 goals in 12 league games so far. So Juve's defence right now, not what it was. Bonucci has gone to AC Milan, of course. He's not had a brilliant time there, but Juve right now are certainly struggling. One thing they are certainly doing, though, is scoring goals. 37 league goals so far in their campaign. Dybala getting 12 of those. He's having a great season in the league. Higuain is well contributing. He's got 8 goals so far. We have scored 2 goals less than Juventus so far. We've scored 35 goals in the league in 1 less game. Messi has been involved in the great majority of those, either by goals or assists or by pre-assists. He's scored 12 goals in the league, contributing as well with 3 assists. And he also has 3 Champions League goals, 2 of those coming against Juve and 1 assist in this campaign so far. And he will certainly be looking to add to that tally. Having said all that, though, even though in Serie A this season Juventus are struggling a little bit, they're not what they was, they're not really on the kind of form that they are. It is still early in their season. Allegri is no doubt doing everything that he possibly can to turn their fortunes around. And this is certainly a game where their fans will be on it. It'll be an intense atmosphere. You know what it was like last season when we went there. The atmosphere was electric inside the stadium, and they'll be up for this game. They will want to really prove people wrong. They'll have a point to prove to their own fans. They want to get themselves back on track. So we really should be ready tomorrow for a fired up Juventus team, for a lot of passion, for a lot of heart, and we're going to have to work hard and start the game well to get out of Turin with a result tomorrow night. And in a game like this, it's always the same. The big question is always going to be, what sort of lineup is Ernesto Valverde going to adopt? What sort of team is he going to go with? Is he going to keep things consistent? Is he going to try a few things out? And I think in this game, he is going to relatively stick with what he have called the sort of Gala 11, the tried and trusted 11, players with experience in big games, players who played a lot of big games with Barcelona in the past. An away game against Juventus, even with their struggles, is never ever going to be easy. Dembele, Rafinha, Arda Turan, Sergio Roberto, Gomez and Mascherano have all been left out of the squad. That was pretty much expected. All of those players right now are still on the injury list and are not available for selection. But this, for me, is the team that I think Ernesto Valverde will go with. Ter Stegen in goal, no doubts about that whatsoever. Or I think if we do get a good result here, Cillessen has got a very good chance of playing in that last group match at the Camp Nou. Jordi Alba left back, Nelson Semedo right back. Although he took Semedo off against Leganes, I think he's going to start him in this game. Semedo, for me, was outstanding when we played Juventus at the Camp Nou. He really marshalled Douglas Costa really well. I think he needs to start. We need that pace on the right. We need that athleticism up and down the pitch to make that difference. Umtiti and Piqué at the heart of defence. Luckily, Piqué is available for this game. He's not going to be able to play at the weekend at the Mestalla against Valencia, but he is available for this one. He is not suspended, and Umtiti, of course, in fine form this season. Sergio Busquets, Iniesta, and I'm going to go Rakitic in midfield, simply because I think Ernesto Valverde will see the tried and tested trio. These are a trio that are very experienced in the Champions League, in the latter stages as well. They can deal with big games on the big stage. They all usually perform, and hopefully tomorrow night nothing will change. And in terms of the front three, I'm going to go with Luis Suarez, of course, back on track against Leganes. 2 really key goals for him. I would absolutely love it if he could get another goal against Juventus. That would really be fantastic for him, fantastic for us as well, but obviously brilliant for his confidence. Messi is going to be in the mood to get a goal. He was a bit quiet against Leganes by his own very high standards. I expect him to come back in a game like this with a very big display. He was outstanding last season when we went to Juventus. Even though we lost that game, he was still very instrumental and created some key chances, which if he'd have scored, it could have been a very different tie indeed. And I'm going to go with Deulofeu on that right. I think in a game like this, you need somebody like Deulofeu who's going to work really hard. He's going to keep his width, he's going to track back, and we're going to need to do that because we're not going to have the ball for the whole game. Juventus are going to threaten us. They've got a very, very good attacking players, as we've seen by the stats. We're going to need somebody who's going to be on that right, helping out Semedo and working very, very hard. You could easily argue that Paulinho could be in this lineup. You know, he played well when he came on against Leganes, got himself another goal, of course, but I just think Valverde might be a bit more conservative. Paulinho, of course, is a very, very good attacking threat, but he might not be able to do what Valverde needs from him defensively in a game like this. Like I say, Juve have got a lot of tools, a lot of attacking players. We don't want to leave ourselves open. He might play safe with that tried and trusted trio of Busquets, Iniesta and Rakitic in that midfield. But like I say, anything can happen. A game like this, a very big game, it's going to be very interested to see what Ernesto Valverde does with his team selection. I am very, very torn on my match prediction. I'm very tempted to go 1-1, and I'm very tempted as well to say a 2-1 Barca win. I think Juventus are there for the taking. I think they are going to be up for this game though, and it's sort of in the back of my mind that we don't have to win this game. A draw would see us top of the group, and that would be fine for us. So I'm going to go safe with this. I am going to play it safe. 1-1 I'm going to go for. Messi to score the goal. I don't think we might get all out to win this. We can draw, we can finish finish top. Even if we lose, like I say, we can still finish top if we win that last game. But of course, we're Barcelona. We're going to try and win every single game. You can count on that. But as always, guys, leave your own predictions. What do you think the lineup is going to be? What do you think Ernesto Valverde is going to do in a game like this? Do you think anything, needs to change in my lineup? Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, guys, congratulations to those of you who did predict 3-0 against Leganes. Make sure you're leaving your score predictions down below for the Juventus game. What do you think is going to finish tomorrow in Turin? I'll join you all tomorrow with my usual review of the game, and we may well be seeing some player ratings as well tomorrow for you guys. But until then, as always, Vesca el Barça!
Barça! Barça! Barça!